What's up, dudes? Welcome back. I guess me too. I actually just got back from vacation. I was out for a couple weeks and it kind of just took a lot of time out of this project. And as you can see, it's not on its wheels again because I originally just wanted to test fit the wheels and make sure everything was gonna be okay, but it looks like it's gonna be okay. So I took those off and I put it on jack stands again just so I can work on a whole bunch of stuff. So excuse the chicken scratch. This might be kind of a long, boring, and a lot of talking video because I really just wanted to knock out as much of this stuff as possible, as quick as possible. And I didn't really want to just take the time to film and everything. So I'll go over, I guess, everything on here that I've done, which I mostly have. And I'll go over some of the stuff that I still need to do in order to get this car running. So let's get it started. First thing, I started going through everything all over again just to make sure everything's torqued down. Like the engine, originally when I first installed it, I didn't even bolt down the top ones. I was more concerned about, I guess, I don't know, just making sure everything fit. But now that everything's done, I have all that torqued down. All the stuff down here at the suspension. I even went as far as replacing some of the split washers down here. These ones I replaced a couple years ago, and when I took this out and rebuilt the entire subframe, I noticed the split washers were a little bit weird and rusty, so my OCD kicked in and I just replaced those. Those were super quick anyways. All of this stuff here for the transmission's already been pretty much torqued down, even over at the front beam. Let's take a look all the way over here. Everything is completely torqued down. I actually also, after I did torque everything down, there's this bushing here that I forgot to put the metal spacer in when I initially installed the beam, but then I found it and I put it in just now, so that's why I have that there. So that's all done. Everything's all torqued with the suspension and everything. Over here is all torqued down. The only things that didn't torque down yet are the tie rods, let's see, and the steering there. I still want to do the alignment myself. I think that's gonna be the last thing that's gonna get tightened down when I try to figure this stuff out. So I think that'll be an interesting task. I don't know, I've never done it before, just like everything else in this car, so I'll figure that out. If not, I'll take it to a professional. I think there's a shop down in Torrance or something that will do it. So I will look into that. Let's see, what else did I do? All the new clamps and hoses. Oh yeah, I got new, let's see, I got new fuel hose right here. These are the actual German ones, the, I guess, 5mm ones instead of the American, like, standard ones. But I got a longer fuel hose because over here, for some reason, it just wasn't long enough on the last one. So I got this one all the way up to the fuel pump there. Let's see, topped off the transmission. I topped that off down here. I got some, I think it was like 80-90 transmission fluid. So I topped that off there, and I think it took about maybe 2.5 or a little bit over 2.5, just because the transmission was completely dry. And I double checked, make sure there were no leaks, so we are good there. The other thing is the split boot right here. Originally when I installed them, I put the split at the top, but a good friend of mine recommended that I turn it over to either 3 or 9 o'clock position. I ended up just putting it there in the back. I don't know, I guess I could have gone that way, but we're good. By the way, this is in no particular order. I made this list like just by memory, and I didn't think about how much I've done before I even started thinking about recording. So yeah, I did the valve lash for the engine even before putting the engine in. I think you can actually see that in the engine installation time-lapse video that I did. Let's see, new boots, rubbers, we're good there. New rear bump stop. Oh yeah, this one is interesting. So this bump stop right here, there's a factory one, and These are also factory, but these are the factory rear bump stops. This one here is a factory bump stop for the front, which I believe was the bottoms. I think, I don't know, whatever. I still had it when I took apart the fronts, and since I don't have bump stops here anymore, I salvaged that one and I put it here just because I know this car is going to be lower, and I didn't, oh, dropped it. And I didn't want this to bottom out too soon and hit this bump stop and kind of just ride on this too much. So I think I've heard people actually chop these down, and I just found out that this actually fits in its place. So cool little factory hack there. It's, I'd say maybe half an inch shorter. I think that'll be good. Good German rubber, still in pretty good shape. I redid all the Teflon tapes on all the hard lines and soft lines for the brakes. So I did it all in the rears, all the way up here to the T-fitting, all the way to the other side. And then I also did it to the front here. So these are all connected now to the brake calipers. That's all installed with the Teflon tape, the gas and oil one, the yellow roll instead of the white. All the way up to here. I Tefloned the sensor here. All of this to the master cylinder. All of that is all Teflon and torque down as well, all the way to the other side there. I still have to adjust the rear brake emergency lines. Those are all installed with the brand new ones here. And in order for me to do that, I think, okay, let me know if this is correct. So I've heard that when you're adjusting the rear emergency lines, you kind of put this somewhere in the middle, kind of like that, I guess. And then you come here to install, I mean, not install, adjust your shoes all the way until they kind of bottom out to stop this from spinning. And then once that's there, I guess this is where you adjust it. So I think that's the process on how to do that. So I've yet to do it. I'm gonna do that whenever I can, I guess. All these ones here showing the star, I can't do that yet. That's stuff that I need to do, but I can't do that because I still need to fix that pan right there, because I can't even install the actual pedal before doing that. So that is basically just to adjust the clutch cable. I can't do that. Let's see, fix pan by pedal, yeah, that's it. Restore pedals. I do want to take this completely apart and I want to completely restore it, so I will make a whole episode for that, so stay tuned. And then install pedals. So once this is fully restored and that's fixed, I will be installing this into there. Axle boots, I already mentioned that I had to rotate the orientation of the splits. The bleed brakes, I need to actually complete installing the reservoir right here. And for a second, I actually forgot how these went, and I had to refer to one of my old videos just to see how these came out. So this is kind of how they look like here, with this top one going to the left, and then this one that's a little bit more curved goes to the right. And it goes to here, and then there's this split right here, and then another straight one over here that connects the other one to the other one right here. And I also sourced the correct hose. This one is an interesting one. It's a little bit bigger than the fuel hose, but it's for the brake lines. Speaking of these brakes, I kind of just went over this super quick, but I do want to show it because I'm pretty proud of it. So I dunked both of these, or I took it apart first, and I dunked everything into that solution for the brake parts cleaner. I got all the paint off and I resanded this and repainted it, and it's looking really nice. Same thing with the actual reservoir. So this is like super clean now. I don't know if you remember what it looked like before, but you can reference my old video if you want. The inside is super clean now. Like, look at that. I mean, there's a little bit of gunk, but it's not gonna be 100%, but it's pretty good. I mean, before it was like completely black, so that's pretty cool. So over here, I mentioned that I torqued everything down. These ball joints, I torqued down only the tops here and over here. I didn't torque this one down and that one, because that also pertains to the alignment of this steering. So basically, as you turn this bottom part and this bottom part of the ball joint, that will like adjust the caster and the toe and whatever. So once I have that all figured out, I will then torque these down. This cable right here that goes to my speedometer, it's a little bit long. I replaced this a long time ago, which I got from Rock Auto, and it was pretty cheap, so I just threw that in. But I got that reinstalled in through the hub, and I have it clipped over here. Oh, also on the inside over here, I did also grease the outer bearings. I know when I first rebuilt this a few episodes ago, I don't even know how long, I only greased the insides, but now that I have this completely torqued down, I greased the inside there, so we are all good. The gas tank is probably going to be one of the last things I install. Matter of fact, I think I'm actually not even going to put the gas tank in yet until after the professional alignment. So maybe I'll just put like a jerry can over here, just enough for it to be able to drive to the alignment shop. Hopefully that's okay. If not, we'll see. Let's see. Yep, adjust steering, add missing beam spacers. I already mentioned those ones, which I've already done. The seat belts. Eventually I want to replace the seat belts on here because the ones that are on here are not factory. And let's see, this side and the other side, they're not even matching. It's funny because these look like the airplane ones. It's interesting. But I do want to get a matching pair, so I will deal with that when I get this car all situated. I want to upgrade my 12-volt USB thing. This one, I mean, even though it says the 3.0, it for some reason doesn't charge my iPad. It charges my phone and everything else, but it does not charge my iPad, which kind of is a bummer because that's my main like GPS and music thing there. So I need to figure that out. And then the last thing I also need to do is to grease the shifter here. I'm not going to use that bus shifter that I was kind of toying around with. So I'll just continue using this and I don't know, just leave that shifter on there, but I'll still take it apart just so I can re-grease the inside. I think you're supposed to re-grease the Delron bushing that I put in there. If not, I mean, oh well, I think it's probably going to be beneficial that I do it. So yeah, that pretty much gets you caught up to speed with everything I've done. I just felt like I needed to give a quick update before I continue moving forward with this build. I'm really just, let's see, how many days? I think like, yeah, something like 23 or 24 days until the Type 3 rally. So I'm really trying to do that. That drive for me is give or take around 200 miles to get there in Cayucos, California. So I'm gonna be driving the coast and it's gonna be really cool. They do it once every 3 years and this would be my first. Also, what I really was wanting to do before Cayucos was to completely redo the headliners. But the thing with that is it's just gonna take so much more time in order for me to finish this, and I'm trying to get this done ASAP. But in order to do the headliner properly, all of the glass needs to come out because the material here, the post material and even the headliner actually needs to tuck into the rubber glass. So I will just probably remove the entire headliner even before going to Cayucos because it's completely trashed. Like, I don't know, there's no way to save this at all. Like the back third of it is completely ripped off and it's just barely hanging on. So I'm just gonna rip all that off, and then eventually when I have some time after the rally, I'm gonna decommission the car again, of course, and take this out, take all the glass out, the rubber out, and then start kind of messing with the paint, kind of getting that all buffed out, because I do want to buff underneath all these sills. I don't want to be surprised. Hopefully there's no rust. I don't think there is. I mean, it's really solid. Like, I'm pretty sure over here I'm not going to deal with any rust. If I did, it would probably be obvious here. I mean, I don't know, we'll see. We will see, but they do look good. So while I have all the glass out, I want to buff the entire car. I'm just gonna keep the patina look, and I want to be able to buff like under here, and then like all under the window sills, even remove all the trim here. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm out of breath. Sorry, I've been talking a lot, but I told you this is gonna be kind of a boring episode, just getting you up to speed. I want to get this ball rolling because I don't have much time. Again, thanks for following along. See you on the next one.